I mean, it's been a struggle for X Club Tokyo. They've had some injuries for the first stop in Sacramento. They had some people that couldn't get into visa issues. And like I said, Kevin Peraza and Arissa True took a 0 at the last stop in Chiba. But what a finish there. And the story of Hannah Robert, we have to celebrate that moment because the fracture in the right leg and then watching her walk around in crutches all weekend long.
And then still close to getting a second place. And she stepped up and went again for a second place for her team.
You saw that when she got out of the course, how much pain she was in. And look at the points now. 23-60 Tokyo back on top, but not by much. New York, it just flip-flops. So now it's 20 behind for New York. Sao Paulo, nobody's mathematically eliminated yet. 21-20 for Sao Paulo. X Club Los Angeles is still in this as well. But what an awesome season for Women's BMX Park, and congratulations go out once again. Miharu Ozawa going for the sweep.
X, what's going on right now? BMX Park Women just ended, but I just caught up with somebody who I've been seeing around here. He's been interviewing people. He was on my Instagram feed doing some crazy tricks, and I also think that he knows somebody who just competed in here, right? Who are you?
My name is Hudson France, and I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay, you're from Salt Lake City, Utah. What do you do, Hudson?
I ride BMX, and I compete in USA BMX Freestyle.
Okay.
And I ride bikes with Hannah, my coach.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yo, so guys, I'm gonna tell you, I saw some videos of Hudson. He's being really modest right now. This dude is doing 3 whips, so I'm throwing some doubles. And how long have you been riding? Because I heard a little story that said you've only been riding a short period of time.
I've only been riding about since last January. So a year and a quarter.
So since last January, that's all you've been riding, since last January.
Yeah.
You're doing backflips already.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So tell me, who is Hannah Roberts to you?
Hannah Roberts is my coach. She helps me if tips on tricks, and she helps me get my run dialed.
Yeah.
And I've basically learned all my tricks from her.
That's amazing. And I want to know something else. What do you think of what she did today? Because she was hurt and she went through and gave it her all. What do you want to say to Hannah?
Hannah, you did amazing. Because you did amazing. You have a broken leg and you're still riding. You're crazy.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you so much, Hudson. Follow him. We're out here. X Games. Peace.
Peace out.
What's up, guys? Your host Dylan and Craig. They're off eating some spicy food right now. I'm gonna take over this right now, and this is the no cap taste test challenge. Let's see if I can get this right. They have strawberry lemonade. Tastes pretty good. I think that's it. Well, cherry cola, 100%. That's the best one. My favorite flavor, hands down. Is that sour watermelon? Let's go. I think that's it. You guys let me know what you think. Hope y'all are having fun at X Games in New Orleans.
The Big Easy, New Orleans, home of the MoonPay X Games League Championships. Here are our digital studio, on the Roku channel digital show. I'm Craig McMorris alongside Tyler Behrman. Tyler, you competed in Best Whip. It was really fun to watch you in practice. And we've had a couple individuals talk about Best Whip and the amount of work that goes into it. You put in the work, but you also had some new equipment under your feet, correct?
Yes, I did. Whip is such a crazy thing, man. There's so many different kinds of whips, right? That there's a classic seat bounce style, like traditional racer whip, and then you have the turn down whip, which you basically go 180 backwards and back straight, and then the turn up whip. So there's 3 different variations. Whip has evolved so crazy over the years. I pride myself on trying to do every one of them, in each one of them, and to not get so stuck on one.
For sure.
Usually the one is the one that takes it. So. But yeah, to your point, I just actually signed with Ducati, and I'm in Ducati ambassador now. So being a Ducati ambassador is insane. I love Ducati as a culture, as a brand, is just so iconic, and they entered the off-road space, and being able to be at the forefront of that with free riding and in freestyle motocross is an honor. So. Yeah, I did 3 months worth of stuff in the last 2.5 weeks.
Yes.
After Sacramento, I switched bikes and have had 2 weeks to prepare on the new bike. I felt really good on it. Looking down at the red fenders, seeing those Ducati logos, I was really stoked. So unfortunately, didn't land on the podium, but I made the final, and that was my goal. And obviously, internally, our goal is to come and compete and be on that podium and walk away with the medal. I didn't reach that, but that's okay. I rode good, and I'm proud of myself.
You rode super good. Okay, there's lots to unpack here. I want to talk about, you started with the style of whips, 3 different styles of whip. And for you folks at home, one of my favorite things ever is just watching practice and seeing how individuals get into it and what they really focus on. And you were really intentional about, hey, I'm practicing all 3 whips. I'm doing all 3 whips because, it is best whip, but it's kind of an overall impression thing, right? Like, that's important to you to be able to do all 3, be good at all 3, right? I would imagine.
Absolutely. And I think, I'm a firm believer of, like, the harder that I really try the one, it almost goes the opposite way. When I can go, I have a full routine at home, and especially in contest mode and in my head, I have this routine that I go out and I start with the seat bounce whip, and then I go straight to a turn down, and then a turn up, and then I finish with the seat bounce whip. So I try to replicate that in my head, because I know it's 10 riders, 10 minutes. We have 4 jumps in the qualifier, 4 jumps in the final. So I just repeat that over and over in my head. And I pride myself on being able to do the different ones, because they're all so hard in their own individual kind of ways, right? That, it is, as the judges look at it, it is always the biggest whip wins, but it's overall impression from there. The biggest whip, as history's shown, has been that seat bounce whip that gets so upside down and backwards, and that's kind of the wow factor one. But in my opinion, maybe, like, call me dumb for that, but I really like...
No. Educated.
I really like the other styles of whips, and I pride myself on being able to do all 3 in 3 different directions. And, there's the one turn up is probably the hardest to do and the hardest to make look good. But in my opinion, you coming from snowboarding, it's like a shifty on a snowboard. It's like, it's opposite of what you're trying to do on the jump, and opposite of every other whip. So it's, when I explain it to people that have never done it, a turn up whip, I'm coming off the ramp, I pull to the right, the front wheel to the right. So I pull with my outside shoulder and drop my inside hip in front of the bike. And the way that happens, your bike is straight up like 12 o'clock and behind you while you're looking this way at the landing. And it's the coolest feeling one but the absolute hardest one to do.
For sure. We have some of your runs here. Let's toss those up on the screen. I want you to talk me through. That was such a good explainer of that whip. Let's take a look here.
I love the
bike looks good under you. It looks good. He woke up on that new Ducati.
Yeah, so coming in here, this is the traditional seat bounce whip.
Yeah.
I grew up racing. I raced supercross and motocross, and I pride myself on the traditional classic seat bounce whip. You know, there's all these guys, they do it so much differently, right?
For sure.
That some get the front wheel up higher, some kind of tip their head underneath the bike to kind of rotate it around. Everything is all personal preference.
For sure.
In my opinion, the more movements makes it look a little forced, so I try to pride myself
like really
on
fighting it around.
And I pride myself on trying to like do less in the air.
For sure.
But that doesn't always judge the best,
it doesn't.
but that's okay. It feels good to me.
Yeah.
So going into this one, this is the turn down whip. So I basically come off the ramp, I turn the bars to the stop and look back over my shoulder, almost not directly back at the ramp, but I almost look over my shoulder towards the dirt jumps.
Yeah.
Where your head goes is where your bike and body rotates. And the farther over you look, the longer the thing will rotate and rotate more 180 and backwards to then bring it back to the wheels.
Okay.
And then the turn up one, I don't know if they have
I don't think we have the turn up one, but
the turn up one is so much different. You're coming into the ramp and you kind of, it's all through the transition and off the lip, and the way that you kind of, you have to like finesse this little wiggle to then get
like a pre-turn almost,
like a pre-turn at the bottom to then come off, and the whole idea of it is to get your front end looped out. When I say looped out, get your front end as high as possible at, like, if you look at like a clock, you basically you look at a clock from 6 to 12, you want it at 12 o'clock, basically straight up and down. The higher you can get your front wheel, the more you can rotate that thing and put your body in front of it and bring it in.
Okay.
There's so much going on.
Dude, there's so much going on. But that's we've talked about the turn down and we've talked about the seat bounce whip, but like you breaking it down actually is like one of the coolest things, because now when I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that's a seat bounce whip, and this is where it went wrong or something like that.
Sure. And the cool thing is, you know, you see a lot of these guys, it is the biggest whip can win, and as history's shown, it is always that seat bounce one. So that's what most of the guys are trying to repeat to get the biggest one that they can.
Yeah.
The more I repeat it, the harder it gets, because I'm trying to force it. So
I see what you're saying.
That's why, for me, mentally, I just try to change it to then I know that I can, like, loop through my whips, but then kind of, like, reset for that next seat
Like,
bounce.
you almost don't want to practice too much, where you get, like, too in the rhythm and it becomes almost, like, too forced.
Yeah, and I work with a coach, you know, and it's cool. You probably know my coach, James Jackson, who's worked in the snowboard world for a long time, and he's very good at transition, right? And he's taught me that the more that I'm trying to force, like, say, a bigger whip or sitting into it harder, sometimes it almost goes the opposite way. So for me, mentally, everyone's different. I just get to just kind of change it up, and it helps me for the next time I do it. I know exactly what I need to do from looking back on the first time I did the seat bounce.
Okay, sick. That's really, really cool insight. Really quickly, I want you to talk about, you said you've only been on that Ducati for like 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. I think I had a total of 7 days on it before I left, in basically 10 days that I was at home. So yeah, I've been traveling a lot in between these things, having other events. But you know, I did a lot of testing on the bike, getting my balance kind of set up with how it feels comfortable. If I want, you know, the back end to sit a little lower, the front end to sit higher, suspension, clamps, offsets. There's so many things that goes into a motorcycle.
Oh, it's crazy.
And then not only that, you know, when we are traveling from state to state, and a lot of times across country, we can't just bring a dirt bike with us on the plane.
You don't check it, you know?
We're traveling heavy. I have my clothes bag, my gear bag, my suspension case, and then usually another bag that has some of my parts. So a lot of times, you know, here I was lucky with Ducati. I was able to take my bike to a local Ducati dealer in California.